Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about The Wheel of Time. So I read the first three books of the Wheel of Time series, and I wanted to do a little review and kind of document my thoughts about it because this book series is so long. It's 14 books long, and I'm scared I'm going to forget stuff. So this book series is basically about how in this world, in this massive, massive world, there are women who can do magic and men who can do magic. And the women who can do magic are called Aes Sedai, and they basically run the world. So it's a matriarchy. This world is a matriarchy. And the men who can do magic, the more they use the magic, the more they will go insane from it, or go crazy from it, or get tainted by it, and it'll destroy them. So they basically have to get neutered by the women Aes Sedai. So that's kind of the main premise of this world. The problem is that our big bad guy can only be defeated by a male magician, basically. And that would be the Dragon Reborn. There's a lot of time elements and parallel world element type of things that happen in these books. And if you know me, I'm not a huge fan of that, but I honestly don't think I minded it so much in these books, just because I don't know if we just didn't get enough information about them yet, or because the characters also don't know the outcome. It makes more sense to me. So our main character, Rand, basically gets entangled up in all of this big world quest type of things, and him and a bunch of other village people also get entangled up from his tiny village, and they have to go on a quest thing. And these books are very much based off, at least the beginning of it was very much based off Lord of the Rings, and you can really see that inspiration in there, but it does branch off into its own little thing, little big thing, and it's interesting. It's like an epic high fantasy that, Lord of the Rings-esque. So if you like that, I think you might like this book series. And I'm just gonna be talking about what I know from these three books so far as a kind of like a mishmash, and then probably after that I'll talk about each individual book when I read them. I quite liked a lot of her characters, and I also disliked a lot of her characters. So I really, really, really love Nynaeve. I think that's how you say her name. I'm not sure. I really love Nynaeve. I see a lot of myself in her. I think she's bossy, she's stubborn, she's has to have it her way, and kind of self-righteous, but I'm here for it. I love it. It's very cute. I like Nynaeve. I did not like Egwene. Now, I do have a note on Egwene because I take notes when I read and stuff. So, this is what I wrote about Egwene. I really, really dislike Egwene. I get her as a character and as a person, but she annoys the hell out of me. I'm not mad that her character exists, but she annoys me. Yeah, that basically sums up. I understand why she's there. I understand her as a character. It does not mean that I'll enjoy a lot of the scenes that she's in. And the thing is, these books, they're very, very slow paced, and it gets really repetitive, and it starts to feel kind of boring at times. I do like how this author, though, the way he describes a lot of things are very imaginative and it really sucks you into this world. I remember there's one scene where he was explaining a bar or tavern or whatever, and Matt was walking in, and I remember being like, whoa, why does it feel like I'm here with Matt and looking at this tavern? It's really cool, very descriptive writing, though because of that we get a lot of details on a lot of unnecessary things. So if you do like really detailed world building and stuff, this would be great for you. But if you want something that's more snappy to the point, doesn't care much about the details of the world and stuff like that, then maybe this might be a little boring for you. I enjoyed Matt's character arc so far. I love me a good roguish, swashbuckling character, and I'm excited to see more of his character. In the third book, we get introduced to this other character, Vail, the Falcon Girl. I really hate her. I really, really hate her. I mean, I guess I just don't know much about her character yet, but I did start the fourth book, and from the fourth book I really hate her, but we will see how her character develops. I think by the time we're in the third, fourth book, it's starting to get really repetitive. The characters are starting to feel kind of stagnant, and I want there to be some growth. And sure, they're growing, but very slowly. It feels like they're growing very slowly, and I want there to be more growth. I want there to be I guess, faster growth. But again, it is 14 books long, so I get that the character arc has to be covering those 14 books. So, you know, I get it. But it's just like, I'm ready to see more aspects and facets of these characters because they're starting to feel very one-dimensional, very tropey. Like they walk into a room and they act the exact same way no matter what situation they're in. And it's just like, okay, I want more now from these characters, and we are getting a lot more of the world and stuff, so it's interesting. Yeah, overall from these 3 books, it's slow paced. It's repetitive. It's interesting. It's very descriptive. Very. I do like a lot of the characters. I like our Ogier. Is that what it is? Ogre? Ogier? Loyal. He's very cute. I love him. He's fun. Though I do find that a lot of, I don't know, like if this is just like gonna be a theme in the books or not, but there's this idea that happens when the men and women interact with each other. A lot of times in the men's brains, it's like, oh, I don't understand women. They always have to do this and I don't get it. Blah, blah, blah. And then in the woman's brain, it's also like, I don't get men. They're like this and they're stupid and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, just talk to each other like you guys are human beings and that will fix a lot of the issues there. It's not that hard. I don't get it. That part kind of irked me, but I mean, I don't know. I'm enjoying the book so far, though, because it's so repetitive and so boring. At least in the 4th book it is right now that I'm reading. I'm like, it's going real slow and I don't want to push myself into a reading slump. If you watch my reading slump video, you'll kind of see why that would push me into a reading slump. I've only read like partway through the 4th book and I put it down and I plan to pick it up soon. I like our wolf boy, Perrin. I also like Rand, though he feels somewhat basic, and I think this might be because I feel like I've talked about this in another book where the hero main character ends up being tied so deeply to the plot that it starts to feel like they don't have their own agency, which is interesting because I feel like Rand also feels this himself. Like he's like, I don't have a choice. I want a choice in what's happening in my world, and I want a choice in how I deal with this stuff and the consequences and all of that. So that's interesting that it's like he is aware of this issue. So that's fun. And again, with all like the time stuff and the parallel world stuff, I'm not a huge fan of all this, and I get it. The books are called Wheel of Time. I know there can be time elements. Okay, yeah, but yeah, I'm interested to learn more, but I'm scared that it's gonna be one of those things where it will put me off of the books. But so far, I'm not mad at it. Oh, though I do like, I don't know how old these books are. A lot of the times in like epic fantasy stuff that are older, you see a lot of sexism in the way that the women are described. It doesn't feel grossly misogynistic or anything like that, so that's great. Well, at least so far. Yeah, I mean, like sometimes, but this is, I feel like both male and female characters suffer from this idea where it's just like, oh my god, the other gender, I don't know how to talk to them. And it's just like, just talk to them. It's fine. They're humans. They're fine. Just, I'm sorry, I feel like this video was like all over the place. Probably was. I don't know. I did read these a couple months ago, so it is less fresh in my mind, but I still remember a lot of it. Was this a book review? I feel like I just ranted to y'all about it. I didn't even rant about any of the plot points or anything either. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day/night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.